Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Revelations of Ranting Sheep. This is the last episode. I wasn't sure I was going to come in um, for one last one, but here I am. And I guess let's chop it up a little bit about the season and what was going on. So I did it. I did my season of X's. It didn't go as I imagined, as I planned. Um, and it was all interesting, right? It was all data that I was collecting. Um, Talking about my exes on this platform was very different um, than me talking about them with like a group of women or at random with coworkers or something like that, like talking about it on this platform in this manner. First of all, obviously, some things were left out, um, not purposefully, not intentionally. Um, I just really said whatever was in my heart. And shout out to everybody, to everyone who showed up. Thank you so much for being a part of this season and for being vulnerable um, and talking about your story. Um, but yeah, in this platform, like it really drained me going back to talk about these things. Um, but it didn't deflate me. Like, if anything, I feel so much more hopeful towards the future and enthusiastic about who this mystery man is going to be. Um, After so many people, I mean, I obviously did not speak about a few people who were not necessarily people that I was taking seriously. Like we weren't in a relationship or anything. Maybe we went on a few dates or whatever. However, in thinking about the full roster, I guess, um, and saying that people have always gotten better, I am just really optimistic, especially so with the fact that I have created a small community for myself outside of the family because I had to. Um, I just feel so good about the future, walking in with myself, knowing myself better, walking into that future, having a solid community behind me. Um, because it takes a village not just to raise a child. It takes a village to really have anything flourish, anything. You know what I mean? Because we all have different perspective on things, and you know, maybe one person thinks that you have to water, 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 and then the next person is like, no, sun, 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 and it's like we are all right. And if we can just take that opportunity to just slow down. And I know, I don't know, it feels like this is a little bit random coming out of my spirit, but it all makes sense to me. And I guess that's what matters. Um, Perspective, each perspective matters. None of them are null. Even the ones that sound just really, really just so far fetched, it's like that's another piece of the puzzle that we might just be missing. Um, so I am really, really um, happy with how I'm walking into my future. I just celebrated my 34th birthday, and it was chill. It was different, obviously, from celebrating my 32nd and my 33rd, because for my 32nd, it was my first birthday, not having my mom. And then my 33rd, I think, even though I did uh, travel for my 33rd, um, it was still a sense of like, I'm still getting my footings. I'm still kind of like understanding what my life looks like without having a parental unit. And although I was very clear about how I wanted to move with the extended family, I'm kind of feeling a little bit different now about it. And not to say that I'm forcing or bending anybody's arm. However, I am more so willing to consider reopening my side of the bridge, um, for communication and seeing how that goes, and perhaps, um, moving forward, I will make the ultimate decision, or maybe not, because, it really does remind me of my boundary list and me saying that, and I spoke about this last season when I spoke about how I had to let go of a sibling for a little bit, and how my boundaries list works, which I won't go into, but it really does reflect on my boundaries list. I think I'm really honoring what I stated for myself. So I'm really, I'm just excited about, I'm just excited. And that's so interesting because I haven't really even really thought about it. But now that I'm having this moment with you all, I'm just like, I'm actually really excited. Like 34, um, I don't know, it just feels light. It feels joyous. It feels um, grounding. 34 feels um, understandable. Like, it just feels secure. It feels sure. Um, if this at all makes sense, like, it just feels like, I want to say it feels like I have arrived, but that's not quite what's there. Um, it just feels good. It feels different from the others. It feels good. This year is definitely a year of slowing down, taking my time, and just not rushing into things. And I think it's only March, and I do feel like I'm getting the hang of it. I'm still kind of accelerating in certain parts, but I very much am I'm aware enough to say to myself, "Ooh, hold on. I know you don't want to wait for this, or you being a little bit impatient. Is there a reason for it? Like, what's the hurry in this moment? Is it really important for us to do something, or can we um, take our feet off the gas? Is it okay?" Like, you really have to search yourself, because if it's really something that you have to choose in that moment. For example, I was having issues with my sink, and I wasn't able to use my kitchen for 2 days. And after 2 days, I decided, well, this has to be fixed. This is something that needs to be full force ahead, right? And so I made the decision to take care of it, and it was taken care of. But there's other things that are not that um, eminent, like they're not that important, as far as making a decision right then and there. So just speaking to yourself, and understanding what's going on in the moment and what kind of decision has to be made. So I'm feeling pretty confident and optimistic about um, at least for the next year cycle, my 34th year cycle. I'm feeling really enthusiastic about that. And, with that being said, I've already said that whoever it is that I end up with is going to be an extraordinary person. Somebody who's really special. Like I figured that out maybe at 29, maybe at 30, because there was something specific that happened that made me realize that just put this thought in my head of like, this person doesn't seem that bad, but for some reason the communication is strained. Like the communication is not working out. Like no matter how clear maybe both of us are trying to communicate with each other, something is just not happening. And because I am a believer, I strongly felt like the Lord is confusing the communication because this is not the person, right? And when I thought about that thing, or maybe I didn't think about it, maybe that was the Holy Spirit speaking to me, explaining that this ain't it. Um, that's when I was like, man, whoever the Lord, so what I said to myself was, and it was definitely 29 going into 30. I said to myself, whoa, the Lord is covering me. Like he's shielding me from from um, wayward men. He's shielding me from just random men. Like, sure, they could see me, like they could see and maybe even say, oh, she's really beautiful. I like to talk to her or whatever. And some of them do end up, approaching me or whatever. But again, that communication, chemistry, sparks, whatever you want to call it, it just never, and I have to say communication because I'm big on communication. And it just so happens that that thing just never works. And that's when I knew. I was like, oh, he is shielding me. Like whoever this man is, like he is a special man. Um, because not just is the Lord shielding me, but I also thought that because of all the work that I have done on myself that may have started from a vain place. I never thought about it, but anyone could say, like, oh, that's so vain. Like, you're trying to be the best wife or whatever. I don't know. You know how people could be. But, as a teenager, I just remember like thinking to myself after hearing like cousins, my brothers, and their friends talk about complaining about women and whatnot. I just remember telling myself, like, okay, I see what guys like, I see what they want. And it's a matter of being considerate, right? Obviously, you're not going to do all the things that they want you to do, but the things that make sense, I think, do them. So, not being given a man his space when he's out with his friends. We all need time away from our partners. Like, if you want a girl's weekend, if they want a boy's weekend, like, if you don't trust your partner, then maybe you don't need to be with them. Like, why be with somebody that you don't trust? Like, that's ridiculous and suffocating in the future, in the long haul of the relationship. So, I've always been somebody who's always been very trusting of her partner. And I've actually had relationships where that trait was not appreciated. It was kind of like, oh, you don't hit me up, like my boys are getting hit up, like why you not contacting me like their girls are? And it just confused me, right? I definitely do not want to be in a clingy relationship, but I want a healthy dose of intimacy, of quality time with my person. But I'm also someone who, after a while, I need to rejuvenate by being by myself and with my own thoughts and with my own energy. Um, so yeah, so just little things like that. I'm not gonna go down the long list of things that I've worked on um but I definitely, with the help of the Most High, have definitely, the Holy Spirit has definitely read me and has definitely, you know, rebuked me about my bad habits. And I'm so thankful, right? Um, I always say, like, the good in me is because of the Lord. Like, I'm trash, okay, on my own. I be saying things and doing things sometimes that's like absolutely ridiculous. And I'm just like, man, if it wasn't for the Lord, if it wasn't for the Lord. So, because I have worked so hard on my character, I've worked so hard on my spirituality and, all things, even like the way my mind works, something as simple as um, understanding perspective, the meaning of perspective, understanding that we all have a different perspective for the most part, understanding the importance of respecting and honoring somebody's perspective. All of those things are important in a marriage. So I've really worked hard to be a good person, to be a good daughter, a good family member, a good wife, a good friend. And really and truly, that all is in one. Like I just mentioned them, but that all is one thing. Like it's all one thing. And so, with all that work that the Lord has brought to my consciousness, flaws in me that I have had to change, and still some that I'm working on, um, I just knew. I was just like, he is special. And I am so excited to meet him. So excited to submit to him um, because he is going to be a safe place for me. I know it. There is no doubt in my mind that he's going to be a man that I will be able to submit to, be happy to serve, um, be happy to love and respect, and just do all the things for him and not have to feel like I'm depleted, like I'm being sucked dry, because he is equally pouring into me. And that, that just brings me so much joy even talking about it. Like I just feel so, I feel like the sun is inside of me. Like it gives me shivers just thinking about it. Actually is making me emotional. Like I could feel the emotion from like um oh shoot, what's that area called? So I could feel and it's so weird, like I'm describing it, but like I could feel the joy at the back, let's just say the back of my neck, like the shoulder into this area. Like I just feel it like booming in. It's so weird. Um, but I'm so excited. Oh my goodness, can you guys see my nails? I hope it's not like super visible. I broke my nails at one of my clients terrible. It hurt so bad. It was bleeding and everything. Anyways, so babe, I am excited to meet you. I don't know who you are. I don't know your name. I don't know what you look like, but I do know that you're amazing. I do know that you're going to be a blessing in my life. I do know that you're going to be everything that you're supposed to be for me because I have been working hard to be everything that I'm supposed to be for you. And oh man, I cannot wait to just get you in my life. Um, and who knows, maybe you're already in my life, right? I don't know. But I do want to tell you one thing. When you do propose to me, I'm going to need you to make sure that I have on this ring. Okay? Now, I've already spoken about this ring. This ring is called the ballerina, which stands for the ballerina. And I remember seeing it for the first time when I was 6 years old. I was a flower, well, I was throwing flowers down the aisle at a sweet 15, a quinceañera, which was my brother's friend. And I saw hers and I completely fell in love with it. And I remember telling my mom that I wanted one. And I was so like obsessed with it. Like it was so beautiful. Hers was a little bit bigger than mine. Um, and I remember telling my mom, like, I wanted that exact ring. And I kept it in my heart forever. And I reminded her ever so often that, hey, when I turn 15, this is what I want. When I turn 15, this is what I want. And, sometimes when you have certain parents, you don't think that they're actually listening to you. But when I turned 15, I remember walking to the apartment, and where we lived, you can see inside from the street. And I just remember seeing like the living room was a little bit dark. And I'm like, oh, she bought me a whole bunch of balloons. And I was because I love balloons. I was like, oh, I went into the house and I saw all these balloons and I got so excited. And man, like I was just excited off the balloons. And I'm like, oh, thank you, mom, so much for the balloons, whatever. And then I'm like walking into my bedroom and she's like, whoa, like, where are you going? I'm like, what do you mean? She was like, it's not just the balloons, there's something attached to the balloons. She bought me 16 balloons, by the way, because it's like you buy 15 and then you buy one more for luck or whatever. So I'm like, oh. So I go back to the balloons and I saw that there was something attached on the bottom, but I didn't pay attention to it at the time because I thought it was I don't know, like just something that she used to keep the balloons together. So when I started to untangle the strings, I noticed that there was a box inside of a red do-rag because red was my thing for that year. Um, and when I opened the box, it was my ballerina ring. And oh my gosh, I was so freaking excited. Like we literally jumped up and down in the living room together. I was like beyond ecstatic about getting this ring. It's not exactly what I wanted, but it's what I wanted. And so um just in honor of her and what she said to me when she put it on me, ooh, it is important for this to be on me when you propose. So please make sure I have it on. Kahawia, please make sure I have it on. Somebody, please just make sure I have it on. Anyways, this is how we're ending the season. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I have, this is silly, right? Okay, let me simmer down a little bit. Every time. But I do have plans moving forward. I won't talk too much about it because I don't have the full details yet, but it is in the works. Next season is going to be just a little bit different. I'm really excited about it. And should I commit myself to saying that even the editing is going to be better? I kind of want to. So no expectations. Don't hold me to it, but I do plan to have better editing of my videos for next season. You guys, I just hope that you can feel at some point in your life, if not right now, as satisfied as I feel with myself. Please understand that nothing is perfect right now in my life. There's things that I have worries about. However, I'm breathing. I have a great community. I have people that I could actually depend on and that love me. And that means the world to me, in comparison to that teenager. The reason she was in and out of so many relationships was because she was hurting. And now things are so different. So I hope nothing but the best for everyone. And if you're watching this, then there's something here for you. All right. I am done because I'm not I'm not gonna continue crying. This is crazy. But again, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And look out for bigger and better things coming up this December. All right. That's all. See y'all later. Deuces.